And off we go from Denver. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. For the Buffalo offense coming out, and it is Josh Allen who is at the helm.
And in this league, there are many quarterbacks who have their most success running the ball, while there are others who have big arms. But there aren't too many guys who can do both. And at the end of many games, this guy leads his team not just in passing, but in rushing as well.
Into the air right away is Allen. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver Moore. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that. I think you put just a little bit too much heat on that one. When you throw it to the outside, you do have to be careful because you got to keep it away from the defender, but you also have to give your own guy a chance too.
Third play here, this opening drive as they're up against a 3rd and 5. To throw, it's Allen. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have a Bills first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
14 yards. And the Bills first down. 1st and 10 at the 46-yard line.
That's a play that may get lost in the grand scheme of things, but one thing's for sure. You certainly don't want to go 3 and out to start the game. So that's a nice job of finding the right play call and coming up with a first down.
And he's got it across midfield and into Denver territory. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
Again, it's Cook. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. He winds up giving a yard back there, and now it's 3rd and 2.
Well, I would have figured after the 9-yard run on the previous play, getting 1 more yard wouldn't have been much of a problem. But apparently it was, and now it's 3rd down.
3rd and 2. And they'll try and run the option to pick it up. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. Give him the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play.
And this is one of those plays that if you can use it to keep the chains moving, it's a good play. And not only that, it tends to tamp down the pass rushers because they have to recognize this play and stay at home. The quarterback uses it well. Read option, keeps it, and picks up a first down with some nice running.
Setting up the screen for Cook. And he's going to get this inside the 30. The Bills passing game, getting them down the field. They've got another first down.
And as you're game planning as a staff, you go through all the different ways you can neutralize the other guy's pass rushers. Extra linemen, leave a tight end in, bring the running backs back in to block. Or you can do this, a little simple screen pass, and it works to perfection.
Moore, the motion man right. Now they run the sweep as Allen just pops this forward. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
And a lot of times these plays, they either go for nothing or they go for big yardage. And here, they got to the outside, turned it upfield, and ended up getting a nice little gain out of it.
Just need a yard here, 2nd and 1. Back to the ground, Cook. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs, and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Now Cook, he's got it off the draw. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal. The impressive opening drive continues, and just space being created by those guys up front.
We're seeing this the same way, aren't we? We are seeing an offensive line, as this game gets started, as it starts to unfold, that they are dominating the line of scrimmage.
And this is going to be caught. No, they say it's incomplete.
Man coverage is certainly a staple of their defense, and it's built for plays like that, forcing that incompletion.
A line of scrimmage, once again the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal. Cook up the gut. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
I thought they were onto something with their play calling. Kind of went in reverse a little bit. Threw it on 1st down, then ran it on 2nd down. Not successful either way. What play call do they come up with here on this important 3rd down try?
Palmer going to go in motion left. And they just did not get the snap away in time.
Delay of game, offense.
That flag, that'll push him back 5.
Still 3rd down.
How crucial will those 5 yards be? We'll see as they come up again here, 3rd and goal. Now Allen. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Well, so a drive that spans all that time, and yet you may only come away with 3 points here.
Well, your defense, all right, they actually like these long drives. They get to rest over on the sidelines for a while. But when you're not finishing with points in terms of touchdowns, that's frustrating. They've got to figure out how to close out these long drives and get 6s instead of 3s.
Prater's kick is good. And the Bills' opening drive yields 3. And all in all, a pretty decent opening drive, Charles. Pretty balanced. They had the passing game going and the rushing attack, too.
I would think they have to be happy with that start because you get your ground game going, which means your offensive line and your runners are pretty happy, and then you get your aerial attack going as well, so your quarterback and receivers have smiles on their faces. Now both up to speed, awaiting their next possessions for this game. They can't wait to get started again.
Prater now will send it away following the made field goal. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. And they are led out there by their mobile quarterback.
We're seeing it more and more in this league, how teams love to have athletes back there taking the snaps, guys who can throw it and move around and get yardage with their legs if needed. He's one of the best examples that we see out there right now. He can throw for hundreds of yards one week and then run for 100+ the next. He adds an extra dimension that really confounds defenses when he puts it all together.
A short throw to Ingram. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
It's a pickup of 6. Brings up 2nd and 4. At the 33-yard line.
On the run, this is J.K. Dobbins. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Nix. He'll try to pick it up himself. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. The escapability in evidence there as that one good for 15 and a 1st.
That's good for a Broncos 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 50-yard line.
Well, he and his offense were staring down what was likely a 3 and out. Zero fear from his side, though. Never doubted for a second they pick up the first. He's ready to pull the trigger on a keeper the moment it revealed itself.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. Oh, an absolutely filthy juke. He's got some space now. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. And even 50 yards for J.K. Dobbins. And the Broncos are able to answer the early 3 points and take a first-quarter lead. Well, we've said it many times. He is always a threat to go the distance anytime he's got the ball in his hands. And on this occasion, he did just that.
Well, he's definitely the guy that makes this offense go. And when you're an RB1, running back one, you've got to be willing to be patient at times as well. Not every run's going to be the home run we saw there. But once you get that opportunity and that opening, you take full advantage.
Will Lutz on for the point after. He's got it. They'll see that opening drive field goal and raise it a touchdown, and that makes it 7-3.
Bills 3.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
For the Broncos.
And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. So here come the Bills out for their second drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
On play action, Allen. This one complete to his fullback out of the backfield. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And it's second down.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position is to actually utilize more of a scat back in this spot. Because we saw the catch there, right? He made it. But he's a bigger, stronger guy, maybe not quite as elusive as maybe someone else you would put there.
Yeah, didn't get the big yardage there you might out of a smaller back. Well, that'll get them the first down as they get 9 yards out of that quick slant.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. So they fake the handoff. Now Allen throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Now Allen again. Into the hands of the tight end, Dalton Kincaid. And this is going to be another 1st down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 45-yard line.
And the Bills' 1st down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a 1st down.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 45-yard line. Tap forward by Allen on the jet sweep. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well. Boy, an effective play there, getting their wideouts involved in the run game.
And what they're always hoping on that type of a play, that they can get to the end of the line and have a chance to turn it upfield as he did there. That means they controlled the blocking and took care of the defensive end or the outside linebacker to give him that lane.
And I guess I need to clarify, I said getting their wideouts involved in the run game, but of course that was actually a pass as he popped it forward. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Moore, the motion man. Allen now looks to throw. He's got the connection to Moore. They just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there.
Another Bills. First down. An 8-yard pickup. First down, Bills.
They'll try the middle with Cook. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
But if you're going to have a relay race, you're probably going to pick your backs and receivers to run it, but don't underestimate the conditioning of the offensive line. They're out there just dictating things, staying on the field, and keeping a long drive going.
They run it again with Cook. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. That gain of 15 gets him on the doorstep, first and goal. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, it took a sack on first and goal. But that close to the goal line, that still definitely hurts.
After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. The Bills with the football as we start quarter number 2. As they come up now, second and goal. Allen. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes third and goal. Here's Allen. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. DJ Jones able to drop him for a loss of 2, and that will bring up fourth down. So this defense, they gave up some yards on this drive, but bottom line, they came up with a sack when it mattered.
And we know that every down counts, but let's be honest about it. People focus on third down as a real key down in any drive, any situation, and they took full advantage of third down there and made a play.
Matt Prater on for the field goal. A 36-yard attempt.
Prater's kick is good. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. So the margin shrinks there as they get the field goal to draw them a bit closer here in this second quarter.
Yeah, nice snap, nice hole. They just want to keep this game close, so give them credit for finishing that one off with 3.
Prater now will send it away following the made field goal. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So now the second drive offensively coming up for the Denver Broncos. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. The drive will commence with a run by J.K. Dobbins. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. 84 yards for him on the ground so far tonight as he has been terrific in this first half. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
And this turns into a nice gain with a slide at the end. 16 more on that one and another first down.
It's a gain of 16 yards. That's another Broncos first down.
A nice run there. He calls his own number, gets the first down, and then slides to a stop before he has to take any contact.
And that absolutely has to please this coaching staff because you know they've been drilling into his head. You're no good to us on the sidelines if you're not playing, right? If you have to be over here full-time with us, that doesn't work so well. We need you on the field, so sliding like that, they'll take that every time.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earn a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
They'll try to draw here with Dobbins. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy is nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
An extra defensive back here for the Bills on 3rd down. Working out of the gun is Nix. He's got his target. That's complete. And he's got a first down as the tackle made at the Bills' 12-yard line. A strong pickup of 11 keeps their drive alive.
1st and 10 at the 12-yard line.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of...
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. J.K. Dobbins with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Broncos are able to extend their lead. The CD, you know, he's got great options at wide receiver, tight end, but there he looks to the backfield, and it results in a touchdown.
I love how you laid that out. So many options. You maybe forget about some of the ones that you should be covering. And they made them pay with that one, didn't they? You forget about the guys in the backfield, they're eligible too.
Lutz will look to add the extra point. Oh, the snap, a poor one, and this is blocked. I'll call it luck or skill, whatever the case is. They're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you maintain possession, that's all you're looking for.
Following the botch PAT, they're set to kick this one away. And he won't quite make it to the 25. Buffalo offense back out and ready to go. They've been settling quite a bit. They've been able to move the football some, but they've just been settling. That's one of the reasons they're down on the scoreboard.
I love that word you picked, settling, because nowadays in this NFL, you're thinking touchdown almost every drive because everything's so high-powered. Yeah, you'll take the field goal, but you always feel like you're leaving points out there when you don't put it in the end zone.
They'll be trying to put it in the end zone here on this drive. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
I give him credit for trying, but there's no fooling the defense with that call. They were reading run, and they set up to stop the run and then executed.
Now 2nd and 9. Palmer going to go in motion left. Now Allen. Throw left side is hauled in by Palmer. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 22 yards there, a first down.
And the Bills first down. A gain of 22 yards. And the Bills first down.
Here's Allen to throw it. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he's down right around midfield after a gain of 2, maybe 3.
The key to any screen play is all in the deception. And that means everyone on the offensive side of the ball. But someone gave it up because that one wasn't very well concealed. And the defense able to rally to him and hold him for just a short gain.
From midfield, here's Allen. Throwing the out route, incomplete. That's Palmer. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is a receiver's got to make sure he works a defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
A 10th carry in the game for Cook. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Throwing now is Allen. Throw left side to Kincaid. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 27-yard line.
15 yards. That's another Bills first down.
It's a well-designed play here. 3 wide receivers in the formation. They're all going to run deep routes to put pressure on the safeties. And then they let their tight end cut his route off a little shorter and work toward the middle of the field. That's a difficult route to try to defend.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And they've got it in the red zone now, down at about the 19. 54 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Good yardage there on first down, exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your second down play.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Davis. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
So we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. It's a good gain of 11. Sets him up first and goal.
Partner, there are strong running plays, and then there are plays where you simply outclass the defense, and we saw the latter there. They ran straight up the heart of that front for an excellent gain and first down. Simply put, you've got to put up more of a fight defending the middle. Otherwise, this is going to be a long game.
And he's got his tight end Knox for a Bills touchdown. 4 yards on the touchdown grab. And the Bills are an extra point away from evening this one up. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself, no reason to wait.
Previous play is under review.
They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How's the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Now Matt Prater for the point after. It's right through, and we are now tied at 13.
Ties the game
A 10-play drive that time. And it ends in a Buffalo touchdown. All square now at 13 all as he sends this one away. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. The Broncos offense and their running back getting set for this next possession. And as a play caller, when you've got a guy who's running like this, you lean on him and your offensive line. He's had big hole after big hole to run through in this first half. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. So both of these teams, Charles, coming off touchdowns now, but this offense, they just had to stand on the sideline, watch their opponent offer a really impressive drive to reach the end zone.
Yeah, and I think you're not telling yourself the truth if you don't think there's some one-upsmanship going on right now, because they just had their touchdown answered by a drive of double-digit plays that also found the end zone. Now they want to do something even more impressive to answer that one.
Throwing Nix. He's going to get this one out to his fullback. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves him with 3rd and 9 looming.
Now that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
Here's 3rd and 9. To throw, here's Nix. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
That could be the stop this defense needed to get them back on track. They've been pretty well dissected by the offense here in the first half. After that possession, now they know that they can compete with this offense.
On 4th down, Jeremy Crawshaw on to punt for Denver. DJ Moore is back deep waiting for it. They'll send this away into the Rocky Mountain night, and it's a good one. This is fielded at the 27. A 46-yard boot, but just 36 following a pretty decent return of 10 yards. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Here comes Josh Allen and the Bills offense back onto the field. 5 for 5 that last drive. Touchdown pass as well. He was clicking. Receivers, I don't want to be cliche, but running really solid routes too.
And what I love about it is when you look across any team, all right, the body types of the receivers are usually different. The way that they get open, different as well. Some of them use power to get open. Some of them use those head fakes and subtle moves. Some of them just use pure speed. And the really good ones, when they're established, they know how to push off at the end of a route, too. So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid-type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
If they're going to get a first down out of this, they're going to have to earn it because there's been tough going in the interior there. And here we are on 3rd and 1. Be prepared. Brace yourself. Going to be some contact going on.
Allen now on the sneak. He is going nowhere as he is enveloped behind the line. So call that no gain on the sneak, and now they're still a yard short here on 4th.
No gain? Quarterback sneak? No gain? Aren't you supposed to get something out of that?
Yeah, needed a full yard there. And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. Now this is caught. He hits Moore. He's to the 15. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. DJ Moore, 53 yards. And the Bills take a chance, but they find pay dirt on 4th and goal. A gutsy call, 4th and short. They go for it. Look at the result.
Yeah, not only did they go for it, They threw for it because, to me, it was stacked up for a run situation, strength on strength, and they decided to put the ball in the air, and what a result. Big-time play.
Prater on to add the extra point. And his kick is good, but flags come in. Looks like we're going to get a roughing call here on the follow-through.
Roughing the kicker. Defense.
And they'll accept that penalty. After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And you combine a big leg with a mile-high air, there's the outcome. This will sail out of the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. They trail 20-13 our score as they have it 1st and 10. Looking to put a drive together. He'll start with a handoff to Dobbins. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And he is not going to go anywhere. They're going to get to him behind the line, and that is going to get us to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And an off-balance throw there, and it's going to wind up incomplete.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
On 4th down, Jeremy Crawshaw on to punt. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. A 46-yard punt, 4-yard return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Bills offense and DJ Moore headed back onto the field. And seemingly every time they've looked his way in this first half, it has resulted in a big play, as borne out by the numbers. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. In motion, the tight end. Allen going to throw. Has his man. It's Shakir. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line.
And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to the zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. To the air, Allen. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. And again, it's Allen. Working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be second down.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4 at the 40-yard line.
To throw, it's Allen. This to the tight end, Kincaid. Now the Bills will use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half.
First down. It's a gain of 17 yards. And the Bills first down.
Allen to throw once more. To the right side here, caught by Kincaid. So the completion good for just 3. And it's second down.
I don't care what sport you're playing. Everyone likes to build up a little momentum, don't they? And look at this, back-to-back completions to the big target at tight end.
That one not as profitable as the other, but still a decent gain. Now Allen. Now he'll tuck this and run. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Josh Allen, very athletic at 6'5", showing the versatility, picking up the first on the scramble. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. Prater's kick is good. And the Bills will add on to their lead. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
So barring a touchback, this likely the final act of the half as the kick is away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
At their own 35-yard line.
The final shot before break. Nix. He's going to loft it deep right sideline. And that's going to be incomplete. So halftime straight ahead. It is time to join our good friend Scott Hanson. He's got our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Brandon, thanks much. Welcome in, everyone, to the Orlando studios. Scott Hanson with you for a quick halftime report. We'll let both sides catch their breath and get their orange wedges as we're going to get ready for the third quarter action. So let's go back out to the stadium as we rejoin our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Scott, thank you very much. We are ready to get started here with the second half. It'll be the Broncos getting the football first in this second half as they trail, and we are back underway. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. And right out of the gate, they face what you'd think could be a pretty important drive.
I would say so. You know, they're down 2 scores. That's not the end of the world. It wasn't the strongest of first halves, but for them to start clawing back, they've got to start putting a little pressure on that defense, start cutting into this deficit. You can't have 3 and outs and expect to get that done.
Second half starts with a run by Dobbins. And not much doing there, maybe a yard up to the 23.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on third down, and you know what offenses want? Win first down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on first down. They work now on 2nd and 9. To throw is Nix. Open net is Waddle, complete. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds.
That's a gain of 5. Brings up 3rd and 4.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now it's Nix. Another catch there for Waddle. And I don't think he got there, no. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches.
Well, it wasn't a big strike, but that completion put them in really great range. What do we have now, 4th and inches?
Yeah, it's not more than a half a foot.
You know what I would do here?
You would always go for it.
I'm one of those guys.
A call for a fair catch, and it's made at about the 23-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. There's DJ Moore as he and the rest of the offense head back out there. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it?
Right.
Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
On play action, Allen. And his throw is incomplete.
As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable. Usually an excellent target and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Allen now looks to throw. Shakir hauls it in. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard.
They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. Allen taking it himself. And he is going to have a Bills first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I don't know about you, but I like this call. 3rd and inches, and instead of worrying about getting it back to a running back and maybe there's some penetration from the defensive front, just go ahead and take it, move forward, and pick up the first down.
And as we say often, shows confidence in your offensive line. Up the middle, it's Cook. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 97 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside. And so many times defenses say, okay, we've got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
Here's Allen setting up the screen for Cook. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
And we constantly talk about people being on the same page. In this situation, the two of them saw the play with the same eyes. They understood where the open spaces were going to be, and they found a way to get there to pick up a new set of downs.
Allen. Right back to Cook for another completion. Only a yard there. Sniffed out well defensively, and it brings up third.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed, but all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
Here comes the 7th play now of this drive as this is 3rd and 10. They'll send a receiver here in motion right. Now Allen. That is caught. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 24-yard line. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 24-yard line.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
Now Allen again. That's again complete to Palmer. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
They run with Cook. He's been busy tonight. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Mark that as a gain of 16 to set him up 1st and goal.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Throwing now is Allen. And that is caught. Touchdown, Buffalo. Josh Palmer from 4 yards out. And his guys now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead.
And that's a drive that makes everyone happy on that bench because they accomplish exactly what they set out to do. Take care of the football, eat up a little clock, end up in the end zone. Now they've got a cushion for the rest of the game. So they didn't just help themselves offensively, they helped their defense out as well.
Now Prater to add the PAT. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it ends with a touchdown pass to Josh Palmer. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 30. And Denver getting set to take the field.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
They'll start on the ground with Dobbins. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
104 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
Operating from the gun, here's Nix. Now he's going to step up and run. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. A good decision in the end to pull it and run, gets him 9 yards and a first.
Partner, just a second earlier, and they might have had him because they certainly thought they were going to close in and drop him behind the line of scrimmage, but he had just enough time to dodge the pressure, and he ends up getting yardage before being stopped.
A give up the middle to Dobbins. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
But really, that was no surprise there. They've been running it well all game. And I know goals change all the time, but any team will take that type of run each and every time.
Now a 2nd and 6. Here's Nix. He gets this underneath to Dobbins. Yeah, that's good for a gain of 6. And now 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
That's a gain of 6. Brings up 3rd and 1.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the 1st down. On the sneak, it's Nix. And he will have a Broncos 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
It's a gain of a yard.
Focus after that run isn't how many yards they gained. It said they gained a 1st down, and they've been running it well all game long.
40-yard line.
Throwing Nix. Over the middle and complete to Waddle. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a 1st.
That's another Broncos 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 24-yard line.
Inside 4 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. To throw, here's Nix. Right back to Jaylen Waddle for another catch. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play.
A gain of 5.
And that will bring up 2nd down.
5.
Nix to the air. They set up the screen for Dobbins. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. A solid pickup of 12 yards, and now they're knocking on the door.
They certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another 1st down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
Now the Central Florida product, it's R.J. Harvey. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
So now from half the distance closer, here's 1st and goal. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it, and it's 2nd down. Following the play here, now we've got an injury. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. Two of their 3 red zone trips so far, they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. Dobbins fighting, but he won't get too far. Maybe a yard, that's all, down to the 2. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal.
That didn't just feel like good defense there. That felt like pride, didn't it? He's already gotten into the end zone twice, trying to get there for a 3rd time. No one likes to have the hat trick against them.
They'll try and throw. Here's Nix. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sacked back around the 8. Matt Milano in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to 4th down.
Pressure can come from all over when you're plotting a defensive strategy. On that particular play, it just came from the outside.
Now Lutz for the field goal try. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. The kick by Lutz is good. Well, I don't know if they would have gone for it on 4th and goal anyway, but the sack on 3rd down pretty much made their mind up for them.
You're exactly right about that, and this is a tough place on the field to take a sack because, as you just noted, it took the decision-making away from them. Now they have to go for a field goal instead of potentially going for it.
Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away. Oh, able to avoid him. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Bills' offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And he's been a nightmare to scheme against throughout this one. This defense has been totally taken apart, and that is borne out in his numbers. He's been terrific all game long. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Allen going to throw. That pass complete to Moore. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot.
Brings up 3rd and inches.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back now to Denver. It's the Bills with a lead and the football here to begin the 4th quarter. The Bills on 3rd down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. Allen now on the sneak. And he is going to have a Bills 1st down, at least at first glance, as he'll spot the football just beyond the marker. They find a way to convert on 3rd and inches.
How about that there? No frills, no additives, right? Nothing crazy. Just find a way to pick up the 1st down. A nice run right there.
Now Cook running right. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
36-yard line.
Brandon, you're a big lover of music. How about what you just saw there? This is what I call playing the piano for a defensive lineman. The ability to move laterally up and down the line of scrimmage. How about the way he just flowed and got to the outside part of the field and made that play?
To throw, it's Allen. A quick throw there is incomplete.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. To the air, Allen. Oh, and that is incomplete. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the 1st there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that they pick up a 1st down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
Wishnowski on to punt as he sends this one away. This is taken at the 18. A pretty good return, all things considered, but holding.
I agree with you totally. It was actually a return that they were going to be very proud of. But when you end up holding and bringing it back, now your offense has to start a little bit deeper in their own territory.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Off the play fake. Here's Nix. That's going to be caught by Waddle. Oh, what a juke into space. And all the way down to the 35. A big play there on the catch and run. 45 yards.
And here's a spot where this offense says, we got to start making something happen. We're down 2 scores. It's the 4th quarter. We've got to start moving with some urgency. And here's a big play that gives them a ray of hope that they can get back in this one.
Cortland Sutton. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. It's another first down on what will be a gain of 21 yards.
If he's their best threat on offense, use your number 1 cover guy on defense. It doesn't matter about size.
They have had him locked up. That just his first catch of the game. Big reason why they're down. Gets this quickly to Ingram. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll give him a short yardage situation here for 2nd down. Was that a design pass or what was that?
It was built into the play call. He had the opportunity to either hand it inside, keep it himself to run it, or do what he just did. Throw that pass inside, hitting a receiver on the run.
Now it's Nix. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. The Broncos on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1. They're able to convert with a gain of 4. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on 2nd and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the first down there, but they, as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
I would think down 2 scores at this point in the 4th quarter, even with the loss there on 1st down, this has got to be 4-down territory. If you're the field goal kicker, your only purpose now is if you can run out for a pass or actually carry the ball into the end zone. Otherwise, don't even look at the coach.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Jaylen Waddle, a 1-yard touchdown reception. And the Broncos have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. Well, time to let those folks know who are tuning in looking for the late local news. And we may be a moment because we've got a game again.
And, partner, except for those on the West Coast where it'll be seen in its regular time, right? That's the way it works, doesn't it? But how about that? Big-time drive right there. If they're going to have any chance, they needed a touchdown there, and they went right down the field and worked their way into the end zone.
Lutz to try to add the PAT. And that'll cut the lead down now to a touchdown. So that a 7-play, 80-yard drive. And it was finished off by a Jaylen Waddle touchdown. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
For the Broncos.
And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. The visitors' offense and their big play wideout getting ready to get back to work. And he's looking to finish strong. He has been the star of the show as they have just had absolutely no answers for him defensively. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. Their lead back down to one score after the touchdown a moment ago. First down's a must on this drive as they start out here 1st and 10. Oh, he had a man running free, but he overshot him, and it's incomplete.
There are not many times where you might say it's a detriment to have a quarterback with a cannon for an arm, but this might be one of those few times. He just laid that one out there a bit too far, and his receiver couldn't run under it.
Now Allen. The right side here caught by Kincaid. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. His 5th catch tonight, and it's good for a first down. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. Used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
Cook up the gut. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage.
At the 36-yard line.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Allen now looks to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
That was well defended. They clamped down on every available receiver. Just got to give the win to the defense on that snap.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Here's Allen to throw it. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead. You've got to protect it. And he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, 4th quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. 51 yards on the punt there. And it'll be 1st and 10 Broncos from deep in their own territory. The Broncos offense and their running back getting ready to go back to work. And it's hard to believe you could run the ball a whole lot better than he has. The vision, the cutback ability, the acceleration, it's all been on display throughout. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And, partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. They'll run up the gut with Dobbins. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
Sometimes I get almost mesmerized watching these runners who have great vision. You know, those eyes that carry their feet to open spaces, make people miss. I just love watching those guys go to work.
Right back to Dobbins on 1st. And he'll scratch out a yard up to the 30, and that's all.
Well, how about the big guy there showing some agility? He just flowed from his D-tackle position in order to make that play.
2nd and 8 at the 30-yard line.
2nd down and 8. They'll go again with Dobbins. And he's going to have the Broncos 1st down as the tackle made just shy of the 40.
A gain of 9 yards. That's good for a Broncos 1st down.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
They'll go play action with Nix. He'll swing this out to Dobbins. It'll be a gain of 5.
Complete.
And it'll be second down.
Now that's the type of play that gives you a chance to win. Nothing forced downfield where you don't have a guy open. Swing it out to the back, on maybe even check it down, whatever you want to call it. Gain of 5. You're just trying to get 4 on first down. They're ahead of the chains now.
Working out of the gun is Nix. Over the middle, complete. That's Sutton. And he's got a first down as a tackle made at the Bills' 39. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
First and 10 at the 39-yard line.
The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's first and 10. To throw is Nix. Open man, and again it's Sutton. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
When the hitch route is run really well, that jab step off the line of scrimmage by the receiver, which is designed to back up the defender and give him a little bit of space, all you want there, get that space, catch the football, and then make a move and pick up extra yardage. And that's exactly what he got done there.
Now a handoff for Dobbins. And a hard-working run here as he's got it inside the 20, down to the 17. Give him 14 yards there and a Denver first down.
And the Broncos first down.
This has been a good drive so far. It's been the running game for the most part that's powered them down there. Another nice burst there, picking up a first down. Now it's first and 10, as you said, in the red zone.
Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. And the Broncos are going to have a first and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
They'll run with Dobbins. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. They're mounting a nice drive here. Good chunk of yardage there again. O-line, they've been solid this drive.
They have that look about them right now that says, if you do anything but run the ball behind us, you're crazy. They have really moved it well on this drive, and they want to finish it off the same way.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. And they're knocking on the door. Second and goal now in a one-score game. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. J.K. Dobbins taking it in from a yard out. And the Broncos are an extra point away from tying this game here in the final minutes. Well, the hard part's done. Now they just need to split the posts, tie it up, but then their defense is going to have to hold up to send it to overtime.
Yeah, no matter what. I know there's an inclination in it when you have momentum to go for 2 here, but if you miss it, you don't give your defense a chance at all.
Plus, been a good game. I want to see overtime. I'm selfish.
You obviously don't have a flight to catch.
Tomorrow. Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. And no sweat, he puts it through, and we are tied here in the 4th. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it's finished off by a touchdown run from J.K. Dobbins. This crowd alive again. Some were headed for the exits, but a fourth quarter comeback has tied things up as the kick is away here. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. We have seen a lot of points here in this quarter. For us up here in the booth, it's been fun to watch. The defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads.
Yeah, they're going a little bit crazy right now, but let's face it, all of our friends who play fantasy, they're enjoying the heck out of this show because most of them are creating and getting a bunch of points.
Yeah, points certainly not at a premium here. Throwing, Allen. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
It's now second down.
Work with me, partner. Take a deep breath, because that's what they're doing down the field now. That incompletion allowed them to exhale a little bit. Get in the huddle, kind of scan the crowd, see if any celebrities are here. Relax a little bit as they start this big drive.
Here's Allen. That is caught. Kincaid with it. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds.
It's a gain of 16
And with that
yards.
last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Allen. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
Brings up second.
I'd give some credit to the defender on that when he read all of his keys perfectly and got a great break on the ball and able to force that incompletion.
They'll try again here. Second and 10. To throw is Allen. And his throw here is incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. One incompletion, two incompletion. They're going for more.
Well, this crowd is making an impact right now. Third and 10. Now Allen. And this pass broken up. Well, the contact well timed there, and now fourth down.
Well, the defense certainly did its job. They held up in that situation, and now on fourth down, you've got to punt this and try to get to overtime. There's no decision to be made in my estimation.
The Bills send the punter out as he'll kick it away for the second time. Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. Denver's offense ready to go again. Well, partner, here it is. They've got the chance to win the game. You'd have to think they need to get it near the opposite 40 to have a chance to kick a game-winning field goal. We'll see what they can do.
And you're right about that, because if we look at it in macro, that's what it looks like. But I think in micro, the head coach has already asked the special teams coach, what is he feeling? What does he think? Where does he want the football? What's the yard line we have to get? And he's already relayed that to his quarterback and his offense. They know what the goal is.
Well, fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble. And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. Here's second down and 3. Into the hands of Ingram.
Okay, there's 3 timeouts left, right?
Think you got to use one here, don't you?
No doubt about it. I'd use one right here.
For a Broncos first down. First and 10 at the 33-yard line.
All 3 timeouts still at their disposal. Here's first and 10 now. Here's Nix. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Intended for Troy Franklin. Incomplete. DeAndre Alford on the coverage.
A little more than 40 seconds to play. Now second and 10. Nix to throw again. He'll get that complete to Franklin. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts.
A gain of 17
as the clock will
yards.
stop with 37 seconds to play.
First down. First and 10 at the 50-yard line.
They'll come up first and 10 here. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. They'll come up now. This is second and long. Here's Nix once more. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Franklin. Now the Broncos will use their third and final timeout as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in this football game. What can they come up with here? It's 3rd and 7. Off the play fake, Nix. Throw out wide is incomplete.
Oh, boy, this sets up for a huge call now on 4th down because you can try the long field goal, you could go for it, or you could punt and play for overtime. I am so glad, partner, that I don't have to make those kind of decisions. Let's see what they decide.
The Broncos send out their punter now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback.
Their own 20-yard line.
This is 1st and 10. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And 5 yards, not going to cut it here. That clock continues to run.
A gain of 5 brings up 2nd and 5.
4 quarters not enough. We're all even, and to overtime we go.
How much fun is this for everyone who's watching the game? How much fun is it for us to see this one get an extra period to get settled?
So the Bills going to be the first to get it as we are back underway here in overtime. Oh, nice move. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. The Bills ready to take over. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at about the 32. Throwing to start the drive. Allen. Open man is Palmer. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
That's good for a Bills first down. A gain of 19 yards. And a Bills first down.
Give to Cook out of the gun. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Allen. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, they had that one snipped out defensively. That's a tough one to connect on when you got multiple defenders in the area, and it winds up incomplete.
3rd and 8 situation. A tough spot here in overtime on the opening drive. Here's Allen. Oh, and that's so close to being intercepted. That could have been a big turnover in overtime if he had held on. Instead, though, it is still 4th down. Well, I know you're toward the middle of the field here, but still, 4th down this distance. You got to punt it, right?
That's definitely the first instinct because you say, okay, let's just play some field position, make sure we don't lose the game here, turn it over in a key spot. But if you feel really good about your trigger guy, if you feel great about him, you might want to leave the ball in his hands and let him work his magic.
Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here.
Well, their defense, they did the important thing. They got the stop. They didn't allow a point, but now they're backed up here pretty far, Charles. Going to need a significant drive to try to get into position for the game-winning field goal.
Yeah, partner, don't you think that defense is on the sidelines right now saying, don't come to us with your problems about where you're starting? We did the important part. We kept them off the board, kept us in the ball game. Find a way to maneuver it downfield, at least get into field goal range, and get us a win.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. This being their 2nd opportunity in overtime, 3rd overall drive, see if they can settle into a rhythm.
And that's what you're looking for. Get a few first downs, move the ball downfield, have some confidence, get yourself in a spot where you can at least kick a field goal to win it. But I tell you this, if I'm the play caller, I'm looking at that part of my sheet that says playmakers. Get the ball in their hands, critical situation, now's their time.
So the completion good for 6 yards. And that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard.
And I think as he began this throw, you saw that the area was congested, but he has a lot of confidence in his arm, and he fits that one in there nicely. They pick up the catch, not much yardage afterwards.
They'll try to run for it with Dobbins. Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling.
I think I saw a lot of shoulders just drop there. And what I mean by that is they finally were able to relax a little bit because that was an important play call. They needed to pick up that first down at this stage of the game.
Yeah, couldn't afford another quick drive and out. On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, 2nd down.
He may be a bit undersized compared to the modern-day NFL defensive tackle, but what he lacks in size, he definitely makes up for in his ability to make tackles in the run game as well.
The defense did its part. 3 points now. All they need is they work on 2nd down. Another run here with Dobbins.
And he's taken down. It's a gain of 3 from the 17 to the 20.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Throwing Nix. And that is incomplete, but a penalty flag coming in. This could be a first down. So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Dobbins running out of the gun. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
Well, they always talk about playing great team defense, and that was an excellent example right there. Everyone on assignment, no one in the wrong spot, everyone filling their gaps.
Now 2nd and 8 at the 32-yard line. On play action, here's Nix. He'll let this go deep for Waddle. He's got it at the 15. And he is down deep into Buffalo territory. A huge play there in overtime. 57 yards.
1st and 10 at the 11-yard line.
Just straight money right there. The biggest drive of the game, a chance to win it in overtime. If they've been saving that play, they sure pulled it out at the right time. A huge turn of events there.
To throw, here's Nix.
Over the middle, he's got his tight end Ingram. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and that'll make it 2nd down. Well, right now, every little bit of yardage helps. So they're obviously well within his range. It's just about keeping the football and getting in the right spot.
Know your kicker. Get, as you mentioned, get it to the right spot, the place that he wants to kick it from. And if you do decide to throw the football, it either goes to your team or no one. It's the only kind of throw you make.
And he's into the end zone for the touchdown and the game winner in OT.
Touchdown, Broncos.
That was an excellent come-from-behind victory, Charles, especially there in the 4th quarter. Both offense and defense were clicking. They're going to feel good about this one.
Boy, are they ever, because the deficit they faced certainly wasn't small. They obviously did not give up on that one, and in the end, how about that come-from-behind victory? They'll cherish this one for a while.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. The Broncos are winners as we say so long from Denver.